Now, Ms. Watson, people talk about the dangers of sleep apnea. How is sleep apnea dangerous?
Well, it's dangerous for a number of reasons. First of all, we treat sleep apnea mainly for the sleepiness effects in the mild sleep apnea, because we don't want you to be sleepy. We want you to have a good quality of life. We don't want you falling asleep at the wheel or falling asleep in the theater or with family. But when you start getting into that moderate to severe sleep apnea and you stop breathing, 20, 30, 40, I've had it seen as high as 102 times an hour, then we start worrying about the stress on your heart.
Okay.
Basically, what happens is when you fall asleep and your airway becomes obstructed by sleep apnea, your tongue falls in the back of your throat, then your oxygen goes down. When your oxygen goes down, your body says, "Ooh, I'm not getting enough oxygen. Increase that heart rate." And then it jacks up your heart rate. Then your body says, "No, that's not working. Wake him up." So then you wake up. You may totally wake up, or you may come right below the surface. But in either case, you're waking up enough that you move your head a little bit, open up that airway, and go back down to sleep. And so depending on how severe your sleep apnea is, determines how many times that's happening through the night. So I tell a lot of my folks, remember when you were a kid and you did an all-nighter and you stayed up all night and the next day you weren't too good for anything anymore?
Right.
That's what happens with sleep apnea. Basically, you're coming up and you're not getting any sleep. And so the next day you're tired.
Other than, the next day I'm tired, are there other complications from sleep apnea? So if I have moderate sleep apnea, as an example, and I'm not receiving treatment, are there other complications that could come into play?
Yes, as I mentioned in the mild category and early moderate category, we're more concerned about the sleepiness part. But when you get further up, we're concerned about the effects on that heart rate, as I said. And think of it as a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder works out a lot, muscles get really big, but they sometimes have difficulty moving because those muscles are so big. That's what can happen to your heart. It can overwork and become enlarged. Now, once it becomes enlarged, there's nothing we can do to make it small again. So all we do is deal with the symptoms of it being large. And that would be things like congestive heart failure, pulmonary hypertension, both of which are things can cause you to become short of breath. We have to treat the shortness of breath, but we can't make that heart small again, okay? Now, I will put a caveat here that there is been some new research, and there is suggestion that there is association between these diseases and sleep apnea, but there has been one study out that was not able to actually prove it. But we know that it puts work on the heart if it has to keep being triggered every time your oxygen goes low. Also, a very important thing is that we know that that constant triggering, think of it as a light switch, on and off, on and off, on and off. And your body saying, say if you're stop breathing 40 times an hour. 40 times an hour, your body is saying to your heart, go fast, go fast. And that can cause problems over time. And it can be like a light switch, and it will make the heart have a short and go into an irregular heartbeat. Usually it's something called atrial fibrillation. And many times atrial fibrillation is associated with sleep apnea, and many times our sleep study tests will be ordered because the patient has developed new onset of atrial fibrillation.
Okay, so this sounds, be frankly, this sounds scary. How common is it?
It's pretty common. I will say that working here in the VA, in the Providence VA where I work, we have about 4,000 sleep apnea patients.
Out of how many total patients?
Well, we got like 10,000 or so.
We
have a lot. We have a lot. It's really picked up a lot on our intake exams. Our docs are really good at picking up the symptoms and referring them. So it is actually pretty common.
You have questions? We have answers. TheSITREP is your trusted source for veterans benefits information with expert analysis and interviews with leaders from the field. To find past shows, podcasts, and other content, search #TheSITREP on YouTube.